In 2021, 𝗚𝗎𝗓𝗘𝗘𝗡 was the first company to secure the licenses and permits for legal agarwood cultivation in the Philippines. Agarwood is part of the 𝗚𝗥𝗘𝗘𝗡 species of tree. It's a critically endangered tree species, extremely high value. There are huge markets for this product, particularly in the Middle East. There's two forms, there's the wood chips and there's the oil. The wood chips are predominantly consumed in the Middle East, where they're really a part of their culture going back thousands of years. They're used for incense. It's a really powerful scent. In addition to that, there's a market for the essential oil. The essential oil is predominantly used in fragrances. And over the past few years, there's been an increasing trend towards Western fragrance companies who want to source agarwood oil or oud for their fragrances. In the Philippines, if you go down to Rustan's or another premium department store where they have perfume counters, if you ask them to show you fragrances with oud, they're going to show you probably 10 or 15 different international brands that are highlighting oud as the champion of their fragrance. It's extremely popular, and we see that trend is going to continue. The unique thing about agarwood trees is that this is a tree that grows in the wild. It's a fairly unremarkable tree. Other than when it gets stressed or it gets injured, its response is to start producing a very dark, resinous heartwood. This heartwood is when the tree gets its value, it gets its fragrance. If the tree hasn't been injured, there is no value. Unfortunately, in the wild, this only occurs in a very small percentage of trees, but it can be worth so much money that it led to a very high poaching pressure. To give you a sense of the potential value, this heartwood chip can be worth $100,000 per kilo. That's not to say every agarwood tree is going to be worth that much money, and in fact, when you plant it under plantation conditions, it's a lower value. It's still very attractive, but it can be so valuable that every time somebody found one of these trees, they would cut it down and literally see if they'd struck gold. In 1995, 𝗚𝗥𝗘𝗘𝗡 species was placed on the Endangered Species Red List. It became subject to the International Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. What it means is that you can trade legally in endangered species, but you need to secure necessary permits that support that what you're trading hasn't come from illegal, poached, or smuggled source. What that means is it is legal to grow agarwood, it is legal to trade agarwood, as long as you do it from a legal seedling source, as long as you register your plantation, as long as you follow all of the guidelines and the regulations, and as long as you secure one of these permits. Our agarwood seedlings have been planted in 20 provinces of the Philippines, from far northern Luzon down to southern Mindanao, in a wide variety of locations and conditions. We have people who are partnering who are everyday Filipinos who've saved their money and they want us to plant trees for them in Bukidnon, through corporations, very successful businessmen, congressmen, cabinet secretaries, you name it. There's a lot of excitement for this new high-value agri-industry for the Philippines. The Philippines needs more high-value, specialized agri-industry, and we're really excited by the engagement and the trust and the confidence from our many, many partners of Agarwood. With 𝗚𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗡, we're supporting third-party planters. We're operating our plantations in Bukidnon. Right now, we've identified 800 hectares of land in Bukidnon that we plan to plant out, but our buyers offshore have told us that if we plant 1,000 hectares per year, they can take all of it. Certainly, we plan some significant scale in what we're doing for the agarwood industry in the Philippines. The chairman of 𝗚𝗎𝗡𝗘𝗡𝗡 and United Agarwood Planters is the former DA Secretary Cito Lorenzo. He and his family have significant land holdings in Bukidnon, and thankfully this really is the ideal environment for planting. United Agarwood Planters corporate plantation, our managed plantation in Bukidnon, is made available to anybody who's interested in planting agarwood, but doesn't have the land, doesn't have the expertise, or doesn't have the investment to reach the minimum for private plantation development. So you can plant as few as 500 trees. The way it works is that we have very comprehensive contracts, supply and service agreement, and essentially we commit that in planting the seedling for you, we will follow the absolute best practice that will maximize the growth, the yield, and the returns. Our expert staff will watch over your trees on a daily basis. The technology that we've licensed from the University of Malaysia, it's called Udino, should produce around 3 to 5 kilos of agarwood chips per tree. But I always like to be conservative on my assumptions. And I'm also very careful not to overpromise and not to overexcite people about Agarwood. Our business is not promising to make people rich. Our business is promising to help people realize the potential of Agarwood and produce at the absolute highest quality and the highest yield. So for my internal projections, I always work off 2 kilos per tree and around 100,000 pesos per kilo. But even less than that, 50,000 pesos per kilo and 1 kilo per tree, it's still a very attractive agroforestry investment. Important to remember though, these are still your trees, so you still make the decision when to inoculate. We'll recommend to you, but it's your tree. You can also choose the inoculation technology that you want to use. We're not forcing you to follow our recommendations. And then when it comes to harvesting and processing, this is a service we can offer, but of course you can also reach out to other parties to do that should you wish to. When it comes to the buyback, so let's say you buy your trees, we plant them, in 4 years' time, we inoculate the trees. 12 months later, the trees are harvested and then they're processed. The grades of the harvested agarwood will be separated and then we will offer you a price for the various grades. We ask for the first right of refusal to do that, so we get to give you the offer first. You're not forced to sell to us. At that stage, you can go around and show your agarwood to any other buyers that you want to. We're not here to corner you into using our services or selling to us. We're not taking any share in your revenue or your profit from your agarwood. What we're doing is we're helping you to plant and maximize your success. Once we've made the offer, you can go and approach anybody else to buy the agarwood. If there is a legitimate higher offer, we do have the right to match that offer. By structuring it in this way, it gives openness and transparency that we're not giving you a low offer because you're not forced to sell to us. You can go and approach anybody else. So we'll give you the best offer, which we believe will be the best offer because we're not a trader. We're working on behalf of some of the biggest buyers of agarwood in the world. We'll make the offer, but we do have the right to match any other offer. And we think that really aligns us with you for maximizing the success and the returns on your agarwood investment. When it comes to our mortality guarantee, what it means is that if that seedling dies for any reason during the first 3 years, we'll replace it. If there's a typhoon, if there's a flood, if there's a drought, it doesn't matter why it dies, we will replace that seedling. As much as possible, we'll replace with a seedling of a similar age or a similar size. It's not always possible, but we'll do our best. But you can rest easy in the confidence that if that seedling dies for any reason during the first 3 years, we will provide you the replacement seedling. Once the tree reaches 3 years old, nothing's really going to kill that tree. It's well established. These are very resilient trees. In Malaysia, they call them pest trees. It's like a weed tree, you know, it's hard to kill. When it's 3 years old, even if it doesn't rain for an extended period, that tree is well established. And so there's a very minimal chance that you're going to experience any issues other than maybe being hit by lightning or some other freak of nature. But really with the 3-year mortality guarantee, you can sleep easy at night that your trees are going to be safe. And if there's any issue, we'll give you the replacement. No questions asked. And we plant them for you in our 𝗚𝗥𝗘𝗡 plantation. Every tree is geotagged, and so this is a unique GPS identifier of your specific tree, your specific seedling. That means that this tree is yours and nobody else can claim it. We've also developed a proprietary mobile application called 𝗙𝗺𝗟𝗃, and this app, as a planter, you can download, and on this app you'll have your plantation certificates, the records, as well as photos and other documentation of your trees as they grow over time. We encourage all of our planters to come and visit from time to time, enjoy 𝗚𝗥𝗘𝗡𝗡, experience the growth and the development of their tree, and 𝗙𝗺𝗃 is a way for you to also share this with your family and your friends. If you're interested to plant agarwood or you're interested to learn more, you can go to our website, which is www.agarwoodph.com. There's a lot of information there. You can contact our team and they'll schedule an online or face-to-face, and they can answer any questions that you have, and invite you to come to 𝗚𝗥𝗘𝗡𝗡 and join us and see what we're doing, and hopefully get you involved as an agarwood partner.